Okay, hello and welcome back to the remodel. So in this particular part, I'm going to mostly focus on electrical. So I've got to do a little bit of electrical, rerouting some of the stuff, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so in the old wall that we had those receptacles, if you remember, but right here, there is a wire. It's cut off and it's not powered right now, but that feeds the outlets over here on the wall. There's actually one behind the bed over there too. I have to reroute it through this hole all the way over across to this wire, and that's gonna just do away with those outlets. But I will end up with a receptacle in that wall, so I'll have a junction box that's also a receptacle, and then up here I'll have a closed off junction box. So I gotta make sure I got a really good connection because it will not be accessible in the future. But I'm gonna go ahead and run that wire, connect the box, and do all of that right now. So I've got the wire now in the wall. The only thing is now down here, this is where I got to do a junction box, but it's also going to be a receptacle. So we're going to go just like that. And as you can see, that wire, it used to be in the wall, but they just notched it. I got a nail plate. I'm going to have to continue with that. There's really just nothing I can do. I really hate doing it to this, but it is double. So this is next to another stud. So it's definitely not going to be a problem. I'm just going to notch that so this will go all the way through. And this was just a junction box. I would just black right on the ground, but I'm not doing that. I don't think you can go wrong in this way. You get a really good connection. And tighten it up. And I do not use power tools for this. You want to feel how hard you're really tightening it up. That's good. I'm just going to put the voltage. Depending on how much wire you have, if you want to create a little spring, push the wire to the wall. So this I will have to unscrew when I do all the drywall work around here. I'll have drywall all around. Okay, so now that the receptacle is in the wall, I'm going to put the light that's going to go right up here. Basically taking the one that's over here, it's going to go dead center right here, which is pretty much 6 feet from the wall. So I'm going to measure, get the box mounted, but I think I'm also going to have to take some time to cut these nails that are still poking down from the old header up there. So I'm going to have to use my multi-cutter and cut those out. But the light, I can go ahead and mount that and get the wire ran over to a switch that is in this wall, and you can actually kind of see the wire right up in there. That's the wire I've got to intersect somehow. Okay, we're in the dark now because I got to get to my light switch. I got to get to the light in the ceiling, take it out because there's a little bit of wiring that I got to have to switch around a little bit. There is a wire that goes from there all the way over to over here. The light switch, I'm going to have to run a new light switch wire from there up and across to roughly kind of where you see that little box hanging. That's where the new light's going to be. But what I'm going to do is take the wire that is from that light, pull it up, and end up turning it into a power wire to go to the light that I'm adding, and then run a new wire from there to the switch. And for temporary purposes, this will just become a junction box until we can do away with the other two lights and make this the sole only one in here.
Okay, so right where that green tape is where the switch is on the other side. Ran into a bit of a problem, just like anything else. There are staples holding the wire in that wall, and I cannot get it. The wire's up there; it's tight. So what I did is I drilled a hole right here. It's angled right down to the switch where I could see. I've just got to run the wire right here, which will eventually be framed in anyway, so it really isn't a big deal. Alright, so I've already got the light switch wired back up. I've got to go put the light back on. Turns out I really probably didn't have to take it down. And then I'll be able to turn the power back on and have some light to work. So we're going to kind of jump a little bit ahead because there's some more electrical that I'm going to have to continue on after I frame this closet back here. But I got to do a moving of the door, switch it to be on the other side, frame it up, figure out where the receptacles are going to be, and then we can pick up the electrical. So we're going to kind of skip ahead in time right now. Okay, so this board is going to be where our TV is going to mount, and so the TV will somehow mount right here. But what I want to do is I'm going to end up with an outlet somewhere behind the TV so that it'll be hidden, and then from here we're going to run an outlet down to the bottom, but not worried about that at the moment. But we're going to mount this. This wire is going to just run through here down to this, and I'm going to piggyback off of here down to the other outlet.
So just a little note, every wire that's going through one of these holes, I ended up putting nail plates on both sides of the stud. That way, as I'm putting drywall screws into the drywall, I won't accidentally run the screw right into the wire.
Okay, so as far as the electrical, I think at this point I'm pretty much wrapped up for now. I've got all the receptacles in the wall. I like to put them in there and then just cover it up with masking tape so I can keep dust out of it. But they're not hot yet. I got one wire to wire together, but I'm not worried about doing it right now. So we'll catch up on you on the next part of this series. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel and follow along with this whole vlog process of this remodeling of our bedroom. So thank you for watching this part. We'll see you next time right here in the house.